Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today we have a really exciting mod to showcase. You see, one thing that we've wanted from Warhammer 2 to come to Warhammer 3 was custom cities, you know, new maps, just to kind of break up the monotony a little bit. Now you might not be aware, but Total War Warhammer 3 kind of made it a little harder to introduce custom maps. We had a framework that was recently released, but no maps to really showcase for it just yet. However, just yesterday, Frodo 45127 has released Nuln, Bastion of the South, which is why we're attacking Nuln over here with Karl Franz, something that I generally don't do. The map preview on the campaign map already showed something really impressive, but here it is in-game, and it is stunning. Yeah. Literally stunning. So this is a massive map to represent the city of Nuln. It's not entirely lore friendly, but then again, a lot of illustrations did not exist of this city, and it's got some cool mechanics to it too, because yes, it's got some custom stuff. It's awesome. We're looking at it as a invader here, so we're obviously looking at it as Karl Franz. Don't you worry, we'll be looking at it as a player in just a little bit. But yeah, look how just gigantic this is. It's a 360 map too, which means that you're going to get attacked from all sides, barring a few places here and there, which is obviously just water, but then again you can use flying units to get through those areas. The main capture point itself is on a raised area, which means that you're going to have to fight your way up. There's bridges, there's so much detail. It's absolutely breathtaking. There is a little bit of a clipping issue, as you might notice, with the water in one specific location. But I think that's been fixed now, and believe me, it doesn't matter. Like, this is probably one of the best maps I have seen so far. It's very, very reminiscent of GCCM quality. It's just awesome. So I had about 2 hours or so to play with this map just to kind of enjoy myself, get a feel for it, you know, both as an attacker and as a defender. And there's a few things to talk about because, goddamn, this is so impressive. So your control points are still here. I know some people aren't too keen on that, but hear me out. So they've got their own custom abilities, with the main city control point supplying you with Unbreakable, meaning that it's very similar, actually it's identical to that of Medieval 2. There was control points back in the day, but just one, and that one would allow your troops to stand true and fight as much as possible. So if you feel like you're going to get overwhelmed, yeah, that's a good way to go. The others will provide you with some other bonuses too to make sure that you can keep fighting against the enemy, though mind you that they can take the areas too. So you're going to want to keep them defended as, well, it's a big city. It's very easy if you're getting overwhelmed by various different enemies to, well, lose a point. Now, one thing that you might notice is that the city itself has no towers. This means that there are no towers attached to the walls. Instead, what you're going to have to do is build them up using the build a tower mechanic. However, this is where things get a little bit more interesting, because obviously it's not only done in a way where these towers make sense to build, not between two buildings and they can't fire, for example, but there's also some unique stuff. So while in the most cases you'll have the generic towers and barricades that you can build up, the usual stuff that you're used to from Total War Warhammer 3 vanilla game, but there's some really, really cool ones. So in specific locations across your map, you can build up, say for example, a volley gun tower, which is going to do a lot of damage to the enemy that is trying to assault you, obviously if they're deploying around that area. There's even the experimental raid tower too, which you don't actually build with supply, you use with some of your magic. So you spend a little bit of your magical reserves and you have a quite powerful magical tower at your disposal. These models are absolutely amazing, and yes, before anyone asks, regarding the normal towers, yes, you can use the mod, which will allow you to have the more unique looking towers for everyone. There is some really, really cool ones here. It's also for the barricades too. I am absolutely blown away by the quality. There's so much cool stuff here. You can even get one which is either a smog tower, or you can turn it into a mortar tower. It's just so cool. There's also some unique barricades that you can build up, which are focused very heavily on the lore of Nuln, like oil spills and so on, which, yeah, pretty cool. I actually really like the idea of this. There's also a little fun flavor text about, you know, the enemy want to set the city on fire, but we'll burn them first. Now, we're going to talk about the map itself. The AI has no problem attacking you, so if you're the defender, this is kind of theming here as I'm playing as Empire versus Nurgle, which in the hope for Tamokon in the future as a DLC. Yeah, the AI knows where to deploy, it knows where to put siege equipment and so on. I've not really seen any issues with the AI trying to launch assaults and, yeah, you know, do the usual battle stuff which you expect from a Total War game. This is actually very, very promising as, well, we know that the Empire does suffer from constant attacks. So once new maps start showing up, fleshing out the world a little bit more, yeah, it's not going to be much of a problem, and I think that's great. You're still going to have battles as expected. This is one of the very few times where I see the enemy launching an attack in, say, for example, 3 or 4 different formations, and it makes sense. You'd want to attack from multiple sides. So yeah, this is great. Obviously, in a proper campaign battle, you'd have more troops, and obviously you'd also have access to a garrison. Even though the Empire one isn't great at the moment, you'd still have something there. Now, when we look towards the AI defending, this is just one example where the AI doesn't know how to deploy, but I've seen others, I've been playing around for a lot, I just didn't record everything, where they were deploying on walls and so on, so don't you worry about that. And I think it's very important to note that right now, that issue isn't really the mod, it's the AI system, which we're expecting an AI rework. I've got to actually check right now, it's on the roadmap. Alright, that's in patch 4.0, so this summer, I'm expecting August. The problem with these deployments when you're seeing the Empire like this right now, where they're not really deploying in the most optimal state, I had to build up the towers too. Again, that's AI issues in the base game, so it's not really the mod doing this. Pathfinding hasn't been too much of an issue as far as I've seen, as the AI will still move around. Say, for example, if the Nurgle forces get to a wall, they'll still try to move forces there to meet them head on. So I think that's actually quite beneficial. I can't wait to see where this goes. Obviously, this is still early days, but I think that the map shows an absolute quality. This is the potential successor to GCCM, because as far as I'm aware, the GCCM team just stopped. Who knows, maybe they'll come back, because the framework is there, campaign maps can be put in. I feel like this is something massive. While I do love a lot of the maps in Total War Warhammer 3 base game, you have to admit a lot of them are very much samey because it's just reusing the same layout over and over again, and I know that's not too much of an issue for most people, but when you're fighting a lot of battles, and this game does make you fight a lot of battles, it would be nice to have variety, it would be nice to have some unique settlements, at least for the big settlements, you know, the ones that are very important in lore. Nuln, Middenheim, Altdorf, Drakenhof. These need unique cities to make them feel fleshed out, to make them feel like capitals as they are. We never know if Creative Assembly have plans for that in the future, but for now, obviously the modding community, which has proven time and time again to love this game, are stepping in and, you know, showing their talents, which I think is absolutely amazing. I love seeing maps like this. The moment I saw it last night, I was completely blown away because the absolute quality of this map is something that you would imagine, right? When you're playing even on the tabletop, you would imagine defending cities like this. So this is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. With mods like this, we're slowly going to get back to the feeling that we had with Warhammer 2. I would never play without GCCM, I'll be very honest with you. Even though the AI wasn't great for that, it definitely provided a lot of variety, which was great. It's just something that adds a little bit more spice to your game. Hopefully with the patch 4.0 AI fixes for siege battles, it'll fix all the issues, not just for like mods, but like literally for vanilla stuff. But we're gonna have to wait and see. This is a mod that you're going to want to try out, whether you're playing as the Empire or you're playing as any other faction and you're going to invade the Empire. It might be cool for you to see this as both an attacker and a defender. You can also try it out in custom battles. So the mod will be linked in the description below. Let me know what you guys think about this. I think that this is the start of something really special for Warhammer 3. I really can't wait to see how this progresses and see what other map makers are creating their own custom maps. This would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, see you all again very, very soon, guys, and have a great day.